joining us, and I have the privilege of introducing you to Lade Tawak. She is a UX specialist, a service designer. She's got an academic background in psychology. She's been working with startups, agencies, and multinationals in sub-Saharan Africa and across the globe to better understand people and their problems, and so that she can create useful and usable products and services, as well as delightful experiences. So I'm really amazed, and without further ado, I present to you Lade.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about expanding UX, and the idea of talk is oftentimes of UX, and we also think of like the actual UX team. But the user experience is not just about the UX team. There is a whole other like range of people who contribute to the user experience. So a little bit about me. I'm just going to rush through this because Zach already introduced me. Um, I'm an experienced designer, service designer, UX researcher, product strategist, writer, speaker, and all of that. So why customer support is important? The key team I want to focus on in the conversation of expanding UX is so customer support is important because you want to customer support is usually the first place that people actually interact with the business, and usually on their own terms. Like they come to the business and they say, "Oh, I had this experience, or I have this question about your product, or I don't understand this." And that is how people often learn about a business, and that is how they often form their first impression. Like if a customer is coming with a terrible experience, they are upset. But if the customer support person who they speak to solves their issue in a way that makes them really happy, it can change everything about how they feel about the business. So customer support is important. And a very important thing that I have learned is that happy customers. User experience encompasses all their interaction with the organization, and that is from the app or whatever you have, as well as everything outside of that. How you interact with them on social media, how you interact with them when they contact you, how you interact with them offline if you have an offline business or product. Right. So the user experience encompasses all of these interactions, and good customers more loyal and more willing to recommend the business to others. So something that happened actually quite recently, like 2 days ago, is there's a clothing label that makes ready-to-wear clothing for Nigerian women, and they had delayed someone's order, and she sent an email to them, and in the email she complained about the issue. Oh, sorry about the voice thing. I don't know why that is. The email she complained about the issue, and the founder actually responded to her and not only addressed the issue, um, offered her a refund and sent her items and explained the delay. And the customer service was so good. The person was so happy about this that they posted it about it, and so many other people decided to buy from the brand purely off of that tweet. So happy customers, when you receive very good customer service, they're loyal customers, they become brand ambassadors. And you can turn a really negative experience into a positive one for both you. Another thing is that humans have a negativity bias. People remember negative things more than they remember positive things. So if you have been doing great all the while, but you make one mistake in how you interact with your customers, it may turn even the most loyal customer against you. And another thing is if you have been providing consistently good customer service, on the other hand, it might actually make people more understanding of when you make a mistake. So it's very important to almost always get it right. You can get it right all the time. Then now back to UX. Another way that customer support is very important to your business and is that they can provide valuable insights and valuable feedback that you need to develop and improve your product for users. how you can create a loop between customer service and product. Typically, I assume, or in what I have seen, most teams are like this comes to products. And this part here might not necessarily reflect your own team structure, but this is the thing that I've seen based on my observation and my own experience. So customer support is usually on this other hand, and then there's product who is connected to engineering, design, UX, or research, typically. And this is where most people are. And this is where I think most people should be, or where most people want to be, which is that you can also connect product to customer support. You but even then, I think there's even a better way where you have all the other teams, as many teams as possible, connected to customer support, product design. Because in most organizations, research is not just happening in the research team or in the UX team. There are other people who are doing some kind of research. Marketing people are doing research, even customer support people are doing research, sales people are doing research with users. All of these sources of information, beyond even the research that they're doing, you're thinking about the actual feedback that they're getting directly from the users unprovoked. So customers are going to customer support to talk about the problems that they have with the product. And this can reveal experience issues or UX fails or UX depths. So for instance, if customers are coming to your customer support, say, to ask questions about a feature that you already have, that tells you on the product and design team that there's a discoverability issue because you already have this product. And this is not people who are just inquiring, these are people that are actual users of the product, but they're not finding a particular feature. So that tells you that there's a design problem and discoverability for that product is low. And then you can fix it. Another thing is people go to customer support and ask all kinds of questions. And it tells you what are the features that people actually want from your product. The best part of it, like I said earlier, is that it's unprovoked, it's unprompted. People come directly to customer support and so customer support allows you to receive unprompted direct feedback from your users about their experiences and what they need. So people come to you. When we do UX research, when we do product research, we're going to the users, we're asking them for feedback. And sometimes there are a lot of, there's so many videos about the possible biases as a result of that, which is why customer feedback is usually unfiltered because customers are either really upset or really inquisitive or really excited about something, and then it gives you a look into how they really feel. So another thing is if customers are really excited about a feature or something and they contact customer support, then you know that this is something that will probably do well. Or if customers are constantly asking, how do I do X on this product, then you know that there is a usability problem with X. I need to go to the root of it by doing more research. So closing the gap, how can you now close this gap between customer support, marketing, and everyone else who provide valuable user insights that can help in your product development? One, there's a thing called all hands support that Basecamp has done in the past, where, or I don't know if they still do it, but I read somewhere that in the past, everyone on the team participates in customer support so that they can hear directly from the user. Something else you should do is to keep track. Always have customer support keep track of what customers have been saying. Read tickets, do regular customer support audits to see what are the frequent requests that people have. This can give you insights into feature requests and possible features to add to your app or to expand your user experience. It can also show you, like I gave an illustration earlier, where you can improve on things like discoverability and usability of certain features within your app. Open and shared documentation. It's not enough for the customer support team or the research team to keep track of these things and make notes and all of that. It's also important for them to share it and for people to actually engage with this material. On the other side as well, products also can help customer support be more effective at their job. By when you release a new feature, when you release something, the customer support team or the customer support representative has to also be trained in a sense on those things so that they can, when users have a problem, they can actually properly explain what has happened. I've seen situations where users are calling customer support to say, oh, we don't understand this, or sending emails or sending tweets, and customer support rep has no idea what the issue is because they're not familiar with the product. And so those kinds of having that interaction between design, product, engineering, customer support, and sales, marketing, and everybody else helps provide a better sense for everybody involved in the company. So how can you use feedback from customer support or marketing or sales or whatever other source you're using? One, you want to categorize the feedback. So like I said earlier, you're keeping track and you need to categorize into what makes sense for your product. So you need to think about things like, are there feature requests? Are these usability problems? Are these technical problems? Right. So you need to sort the whatever buckets make sense for your company. In a previous startup that I worked with, these were the actual categories I used: feature requests, usability problems. So you think about the rules of engagement is how do you actually make use of these insights? So you can put it something like, if X feature is requested Y times in 3 months, then we will actually do more research to understand the scope. If you have this percentage of requests, then we will look deeper into. So you need to define how you actually use these insights and not apply it retroactively. Except you already have not been doing this, and you need to look back into support audits to look back into those requests and see what you're missing out. Then prioritization. You need to define how do we prioritize this insight? What do we think is important? What do we make note of? What do we ignore? And so you need to think about business goals, things like the effort impact matrix, there's Kano for prioritization. You can do things like community voting, which Lego has done in the past. And then you also need to think about how do you do further research on this. So are you doing foundational research based on requests? Are you doing usability studies based on constant complaints that users have about a particular feature or process in the flow? Then also you can use it to test ideas. So after you've done all of this work, you need to look at what things are we creating to improve customer experience. Thank you very much for listening.
Let's see if we have some questions. No one has questions yet, but let's see if any questions come in. So we'll wait for a little while. Let's see.
Of the things I referenced.
And I'm also going to get a link ready right now for the a channel I made in Slack so that we could kind of continue this conversation there if wanted, and people can ask further questions there as well. Let me get that for us. Here we go. I'm going to drop that link in, and yeah, it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in. So I'm going to drop off this link, and we can kind of continue. Oops, it just didn't copy it. Here, 1 second. I'm sorry. Technical issues now on my end. Let's see. Paste. Here we go. So if anyone wants to jump into this link, feel free to continue the conversation. We'd love to see you there. And thank you so much, Lade, for joining us today. I know you had some technical difficulties getting started, but you're here and it was amazing. And we're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I will be on Slack.
Excellent. All right. Cheers. Talk to you later.